and welcome back. I'm Lexi Vennetti alongside Brandon Schaff. And while we just complimented IU's offense on Tuesday, and on Wednesday they just had the lowest scoring game of the season, a total of 49 points against Penn State. What happened?
Well, the lowest scoring game for the Hoosiers in this one. One game after, they really looked impressive against Maryland. They go on the road here, and the second half was just an absolute disaster for Indiana. While they were able to hold Penn State to just 37% shooting, their guards combined for 3 for 26 throughout that game, Lexi. It was absolutely abysmal effort from the guard play.
The Hoosiers were missing out on Thompson and Hunter. Do you think that this played a big role in the loss?
Definitely. The defensive strategy has definitely featured them predominantly throughout the season, and we've seen a lot of work with them, especially when it comes to the rebounding, which was another thing that they got out-rebounded yesterday, and it just was not a good effort.
And the Hoosiers are back on the road against Ohio State. And they beat the Buckeyes earlier on this season, but they beat them at home. And that's the big distinction right now because the Hoosiers have only had one road win this season. What do you think will come out of this game?
Well, this is definitely going to be a huge challenge. As we talked about, Indiana did a really good job heading through the season, and then all of a sudden, once they started Big Ten play, they went on the road against Wisconsin, and it was pretty much like the team didn't even exist anymore. The same one that we had seen from the beginning of the year transformed into a different one, and this is what we're looking at as we get towards the back half of the season now.
And on the flip side, the women's team is on a roll right now. They just came off of a huge win against Wisconsin, an overtime win. And in the beginning of the game, it didn't really look as if they were going to get a win. What did they pull at the end of this game to pull out a win?
Well, it was really interesting because in the last game against Minnesota, Grace Berger was so fantastic. She had her first career double-double, and she doesn't show up in this game. She has 0 points, 0 made field goals until the very end of the game where she finally got on the board with a free throw, but didn't even get her first field goal until they got to overtime.
And the Hoosiers have had 3 consecutive wins back-to-back. What does this set up for the rest of the season?
Well, this was definitely a really exciting win for the Hoosiers. It proved that they were able to, even in this adversity, even when they were down by as much as 15, 20 points even at some points, they were able to crawl their way back one step at a time. Jalen Penn showed up really big at the end of the game. And after the game, she was talking about how she channeled her inner Kobe Bryant to try to get that out and get that win for the Hoosiers. And as soon as they got into overtime, it was lights out. They outscored Wisconsin at pretty much 15 points to 5.
Indiana is back on the road at West Lafayette. What do you think it'll take to get a win?
Well, they definitely will have a lot coming up here against Purdue, especially on the road. Always difficult to play in that arena, but they'll be able to take care of business if they were able to do that against Wisconsin here. Now, Wisconsin had about a 500 record in the Big Ten, so if they're able to come back and continue things in a better way than when they started against Wisconsin, they will be just fine.
For Lexi Vennetti and Brandon Schaff, we'll see you next time.